Hi guys, thanks for joining me today. I want to talk, I think, just about what's going on. I feel in the last few years there's almost this movement of women against men, where we're asking so much of men and we're so angry with them for not being good enough, for not being strong enough, for not being masculine enough, for not carrying us the right way, for mistreating us, for, it's almost like we closed down and now need someone to blame for it. We're hyper independent, shut down, angry in our masculine, angry at men for not being the masculine. And it's become this whole movement where it's just, us against you, us against them. And it just doesn't work. And the more this content is out there and the more people talk about that, I think the more it fuels the separation, the anger, the fear, and the more, distance there is between men and women. And I feel like men are now in this terrible situation or predicament where they want to be okay. They want to be masculine. They want to heal. But they just don't get a break. There's nowhere to go. They're getting bombarded and accused and attacked at every turn. And the thing is, part of healing, part of becoming a man, same as becoming a woman, is to surrender, to find your softness, to be vulnerable, to look at yourself and to see where you have work to do. And you have to do that in a safe environment. You have to do that in a place, in a space surrounded by people who love you unconditionally, who accept you for where you are at and see the best in you and want you to do better and want you to grow and support you. And I feel like us as women, we're not allowing men to be on their journey, to get better, to heal, to find themselves, because this stuff is messy. Where are they meant to do it? If you're in a relationship with a man and he's, trying to heal, like, where is he meant to do it? Because as women, and I'm just saying broadly, I'm not saying everyone. And also I'm not saying that women don't have that issue. I'm not saying because men are struggling and because a lot of women are very harsh with men right now in the world. I'm not saying that the rest, all the other stuff is invalid. I just want to talk about this right now. And I have noticed it in myself as well, that there is this movement, just, a man needs to be healed and present and able to contain and lead so that the feminine can, rage, but also, unapologetically be unhealed, because the man is healed and then we'll be fine. And we can be unhealed and be our, wounded inner child. Almost like, that's fine, we can, they can't. That's sort of what I got, from all of this. And there's a lot of support for that mindset, where you just put a lot of expectations on men to be better, to be unshakable, to be perfect, so that you can just exist and live out your inner child wounds without really having to look at yourself, or without really thinking, what do I contribute here? Where can I heal? Where can I be better? Where can I be supportive? Where am I projecting and expecting him to catch me and make it better? Almost like we want to be able to rely on the man to help us feel better, because working through it ourselves is so difficult and painful. So if we have someone in our lives who's healed and who can be the container for us, then we don't have to work on ourselves, right? Which is funny, because a healed man would never put up with this shit, right? But then maybe hold up a mirror and then the woman can heal. But then again, if that's what we want, you, the man, be masculine and healed, so then now we can heal. You will guide us and lead us to our feminine, healed feminine, where we work through our childhood wound and heal the inner girl, the girl that's crying out for whatever. But the other way around, and that's what I mean. That's fine, right? That's beautiful. That's beautiful. If you have a relationship and you both support each other, there's always going to be one person sort of ahead of the other one. But the point is, both know what they have to do. Both are on the journey, on doing their work, their inner work. Beautiful, right? I wouldn't want any other relationship. Like, you don't want to be with someone who's not doing their work. But then I feel like everything that I hear and read and see, it's, let the man be further ahead and help the woman, and the other way around, God forbid, like, no way, right? Why can't the feminine help the masculine? Why can't the woman support the man, accept the man where he's at, meet him there with love, with just pure, with love and support? Why can't we be the one centered and seeing the little boy that comes out, that is triggered, that rages, that is hurting? Why can't we hold space for that? Why can't we be kind? Why can't we stop criticizing? Why can't we stop expecting? Why can't we stop putting all this big, heavy load on the man who's still trying to heal his childhood wound, who's still trying to fully come into his masculine, and instead support him and see what is happening, because it's happening in us too. It's like two children coming together and being triggered and fighting and crying and just blowing up. So when we do our inner work as women, we can and should find it in us. We should find that strength in us when we're healing, to hold space for the man in our life, to allow him to get triggered, to make mistakes, to see that it is the inner boy, that it's the little boy coming out, crying out, reliving the same pattern over and over and over again. And we know what is happening. We don't take it personal. We hold space, we stay calm, we stay centered. And we allow the man to find his rhythm, to see what's happening, to freak out, to get scared, and not label him and blame him and criticize him, but to hold him gently, to allow it to happen, and to let him do his work. And be there. What can I do for you? Is there anything I can do to support you? Is there anything you need? Why can't we do that? it's a give and take. They ultimately, if you step back far enough, we're all souls. There's no difference between man and woman if you step back far enough. We're all here with children, learning, growing, unfolding. And, it's beautiful to have this masculine that leads the feminine and both create magic. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. And yes, we have our own type of energy, I guess, the give and take, the yin and yang. It's beautiful. It's perfect. But as a woman, when you do your work, you focus on your work, you don't expect the man to be whatever, so that you're okay. That's that whole, looking outside of yourself, projecting, needing something in the world to be a certain way. If you focus on yourself and do your work, and you have your boundaries, you have your values, and you pick a partner that matches that, and the partner isn't perfect, and the partner is doing his work, and you allow him to do his work, you focus on you. You focus on your journey, your work, to be empty, to let go, to be an empty space, an empty vessel for love, for acceptance, for support, so that other people can do whatever. And your partner doesn't have to be anything. He doesn't have to do anything. You simply accept him and love him just for being. And you appreciate and you honor the growth, his journey. And the more you do that, the more he's going to grow and unfold and heal. And the more he does that, the better he's going to come back and be able to hold you and lead you, guide you, and you both grow. You both grow together and unfold together and intertwine and connect. You build this incredible connection. It's always wrong to look at the other person and want them to be a certain way. Just take that as like the baseline. Like, it's always wrong. You do not wait for other people to be better or to, look at yourself, work on yourself, let go of life, let go of circumstances, let go. You have to let go of everything, every outcome. You don't know what life has in stock. If you are with the person you're meant to be with, you will be with them. And you will grow together. And if you're on your journey, focused on your growth, focused on your higher good, on your higher self, you will attract that energy and you will attract people who are matching your energy. And if your partner is doing it too, then you guys will be together. And then the best thing for him is for you to focus on yourself. And the best thing for him is for him to focus on himself. And together you're doing your individual work. And then you come together better, stronger, more healed, more aligned, more present. And boom, you explode. And it becomes this beautiful, dance. Yeah, I think that's it. That's ultimately just what I wanted to say. I think we just need to be kinder to each other. I think we need to understand that men and women just think differently too. We do things for different reasons. We communicate differently. And when women think that a man is a woman, thinks like a woman, acts like a woman, feels like a woman. And then they do certain things and we're like, that's not how my girlfriends would act or think or whatever. So he must not care. He must not love me. We freak out and we project, and it makes everything so messy. If we could just learn to understand that men are different and to be curious rather than, demanding and what's the word? Suspicious. Just curious, You said that to me. What did you mean? Rather than, thinking what he meant, and then getting hurt and being hurt and then lashing out and making him pay in one way or another and manipulating and whatever. I don't know what we do. We don't mean to do it, but it happens. And we have different reasons for doing things. Men are wired so differently, and that's not a bad thing. Men are not simple creatures. That's said. Everyone says it. It's like, it's a running joke. I don't know for how long. Women are so complex and complicated, and men are so simple, but they're not. They're not simple. They're deep. They're so deep. There's so much to a man. Men are gorgeous. They're amazing in how they show up and how they love, how they care. They run so deep. And, and if we just, instead of belittling them and criticizing them and thinking we know how they operate, if we just stop and become curious, just curious about this person, about men, about why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you saying what you're saying? What's behind it? Just curious, wanting to understand, what drives you here? What's the end here to what you're doing? What are you trying to achieve? And and you'll find out if you make him feel safe enough and you stop attacking, you stop criticizing, if you just want to sit down and understand, you will see that he has his reasons, and mostly you will find out that these reasons are they have so much care, for you, for women. Men are so obsessed with women. They want us to be happy. They want us to be safe. They want us to feel cared for. And it's almost like we forgot how to let them. We're so scared and blocked. We don't even allow men to love us anymore. Because it needs to happen exactly the way we want it, on our terms, and, we have to control it all. So I think what I'm just trying to say is, if you have a man in your life, or you want to have a man in your life and you're meeting men, try to notice the resistance in you and the anger, the resentment, or anything else that you're carrying towards men, towards your man. Just try and notice it. And when you do, you'll probably be surprised at how much there is. Try to let it go. Try to work on yourself with that. Because ultimately, what do we want? Do we want to be upset? Do we want to be angry? Do we want to change him into what? It's not possible. We can't change anyone. So why not just let go? Let go, surrender, forgive, and try and meet him with curiosity instead next time. Open mind, and notice if you get triggered, and then don't project. Own your triggers. Own your own shit. and work through it. And just show up with love, with an openness to learn, to want to understand, with compassion, with love, wanting to connect, with softness, with radiance, and watch him. Watch how he will change in that energy. Watch how he will turn into a man that you couldn't have dreamt of, without an expectation that he will. Just let go. Just let go and just show up with love, show up with appreciation. And anything else that comes up in you, work through that. It's okay. It's all right for us to have that stuff. But let's stop projecting it onto our partners. Let's own it. Let's do our work and let them do their work. But just stop fighting. Stop the war. Just stop. Find your own safety where you don't have to anymore. You don't have to hold it anymore. You don't have to be strong anymore. You can let go too. You can let go, surrender, and feel your feelings, feel your pain, and work with that. And it's okay. And it's okay to be weak. And go to your friends. Have your friends. Have your coach. Have your therapist. Have whoever is your support system. And just allow yourself to be you. To be real. To allow the feelings. You don't have to hide them anymore. You don't have to be strong. Just allow what's really in there to come out and hold it. All of it. And it's okay. We're all human. We're all in this together. No one here is strong. No one has got it all together. We all go through the same stuff. We don't have to hide it and pretend that we've got it all. No, we don't. I don't. But that's the beauty of life. That is, it's such a gift to have that, to find that, to allow that, to work through it and build your tribe. With that pain, with that vulnerability comes this connection and this depth of life. And then heal and become whole. And show up like that with the people in your life and the man in your life. And allow them to do the same thing without holding anything over them. Just like you wouldn't want them to hold anything over you. You're trying your best and they're trying their best. Together you do your best. And you'll grow together. And if you are the only one growing, then you will grow apart. And that is okay too. The person in your life, the man in your life will be your mirror for as long as he needs to, for as long as it's planned. It's all already planned. And there will come a point where you have learned your lesson with him and you will move on and he will move on. Or you were meant to be a mirror for each other and you both grow together and grow closer and closer and unfold and heal and do everything together. But we don't know. But that's also in the letting go every day. Just let go. Allow life to unfold the way it was meant to. Be on your journey the way you're meant to. Learn, grow, unfold in the time that you're meant to. And stop vilifying. Stop blaming. Stop blaming men. They're not the enemy. If anything, the ego is the enemy, but not even. We just think it is. And we just allow it to be in charge. And then this is what happens. We need to find someone to blame so we can be the victim and we don't have to feel our shame, our guilt. We don't have to carry it. We don't have to heal it. We don't have to look at it, because it's them, not me. That's that projection. That's ultimately what it is when we blame anyone, when we hate anyone, when we vilify anyone. It's because there's something in us that we're not ready to look at. Yeah. Okay. So all I want to say is just please, everyone, just love each other. Everyone just be kind to each other. Everyone just forgive. Move on if you have to, or forgive and embrace. Find that softness, that radiance. Women have a radiance that is so powerful. It'll heal everything. Everything. Find that. It's in the surrender. It's in the vulnerability. It's in the softness. Bring that to yourself. Bring that to your men. Bring that to your children. Bring that to your friends. Bring that to your community. That is the true gift. That is the true healing. Yeah, I think that's it. Be vulnerable. Look at yourself. It's all okay. You're doing great. Don't regret. Don't be ashamed. We're human. It's okay. Just allow it. See it. Look at it. Look at it. Embrace it. Whatever it is. It's okay. Do your work. Stay with yourself. Don't abandon yourself. You'll be okay. It'll be good. It'll be okay. And we stop flinging our shit and we own it. And it's okay. And there's support for it. And your life will get brighter and better and lighter. And the lives of the people around you will get brighter and happier and lighter. There's only good in it. In looking, fully looking at ourselves, being vulnerable enough to just really have a look and to meet anything we find with love, compassion, full acceptance. And you will transform your whole world.